Hey guys, RCT3 Imagineer here, and I'm very excited to begin a new series of gameplay on Planet Coaster. Now this does not mean I'm abandoning work on Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 projects, it just means I'm trying something new and taking this time to work on building my building skills in Planet Coaster so that I can hopefully get some new dark rides out on that platform. For those of you new to Planet Coaster, it is basically the spiritual successor to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and I have to say, from my little experience with it, it is fantastic. Now, I haven't had too much experience on this game yet, so I'm still kind of a noob, but I suppose that means it'll be a learning process for the both of us. So let's get started. Okay, so today we're going to build a custom log flume, and I think today we'll just focus on building the ride itself, and then start adding in the custom scenery. Well, I should say in-game scenery, since that's all there is at this point. To the next video. Here I'm just kind of panning around the screen to figure out the best location, and I think we're going to start this at a higher elevation. Just get a little bit more of a different approach. And as you can see, the station functions are really customizable in this game, which I think is absolutely fantastic. As are the track building elements also. They're extremely customizable. You have, for at least the log flume, you have 3 different points of changing the track, which is left and right, up and down, and then the length of the track. You can choose to toggle it to snapping points, or you can do completely freeform, both of which are excellent, and I think it's a really fine feature of this game to have so much customization. So I think here we're going to start with a little bit of a shorter left entrance out of the station. Nothing too fancy so far, just a straight shoot and then out left. As you can see, I'm kind of playing a little bit with the distances just to kind of get a feel for what I want to do with the layout of the ride so far, but I think I'm probably going to back up and delete this because it's not exactly going the way I see it. As you can see in the bottom left-hand side, there's all these different elements for the log flume that were not featured in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. So right now we're going to do a drop, and with the drop they give you a nice little lift hill before you go down, and the really awesome thing that I love about building rides with this game is that instead of single-clicking every single piece, you have some fluidity to kind of change the length of the drop instead of having to click every single piece down, which is great. Okay, I think here we're going to level out a bit. We need a little bit more of a drop before we add another lift hill. Get a good amount of splash time for the guests. Good, now we're going to add a lift hill. And this one's not going to be too big, it's just going to be a little bit of a transition to the bigger drop, a little bit more water time. So we're going to adjust the length here a little bit more. Thinking if I want to make it taller or not. Yeah, let's go with that. Great, okay, that looks good. Now we're going to build a little bit of a water section where we're going to hopefully pick up a little bit more speed in the chute, have a small drop, and then a point of rest. So let's see what we can do with that. kind of planning ahead to see where I think this should go. Yeah, it could be a little bit smaller, I think. Not that small. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Right now we're gonna mess with the, I guess we could call it the pan button. And then have a little bit of a wraparound in this section. Have it go down for a little speed and excitement. That's a bit too much. Great. Alright, we'll have this wrap around through the ride. Just like that. Maybe a little bit of a drop so that there's a little bit more speed. Yeah, I think we need to back this up. We're getting a little too much droppage, I guess you could say. Yeah, that's looking pretty good so far. Maybe a little bit further down, just for more excitement. Everyone loves a curving drop. Alright, let's go with that. Let's level it back out. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe, nope, no higher. Okay. Great. Now let's try and bring it back around over the ride. Good. Yeah, it's looking good so far. Great. Yeah, and okay, so we're not losing any more altitude with this, which is good. It'll be a nice bridge effect here. Great. Alright, let's go with that. Pan it a little bit back towards the rest of the ride. That looks great. Good. Let's add a drop, a small one. Okay, another thing I would love about this game is that when you build underground, or at least below ground, it just automatically does it for you in a really seamless fashion so that the terrain wraps around the ride. I know in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, building close to the ground or slightly below it was at your own risk because it created these nasty kind of square canyons, I guess you could say. Whereas this is more terrain based, or I should say. Terrain friendly. Let's go with that. Good. So let's just check out and see which way we want to go. The drop looks good. I think that'll be a nice little thrill there. Just panning around to see what it looks like. Also, I'm still pretty new to this game, so you're going to hear me rambling around a lot, trying to figure out what to do. It'll be worse with the scenery because I'm really not used to that, so enjoy the moment of sanity for now, because I'll probably ramble a whole lot more when we get to the more complicated stuff. Alright, so now I think we're going to make this nice little calm point that just wraps around to a big drop. Good, we're going to make a nice big curve, I think. Add some more drops in. Alright, I think now we're ready for the big drop. Yeah, I think that's going to collide with the station. Let's give it a try, though. No, so go. It's good so far. Let's try a little bit more. Yeah, that's kind of colliding. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, let's try to angle it a little bit further out so it doesn't look too compact. Yeah, let's pan it a little. Sorry, malfunction. We're gonna pan it, not raise it. Yeah, there we go. Great. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Cool. Now let's add a lift hill and see where this goes this time. I'm going to use that function so I'm not clicking every single piece now that I know it's not going to conflict with the station. Love this element, but I think that's as high as I can go per segment. Let's lower this a bit. Alright, let's add the top of the hill. Awesome. And I think we're going to pan this back towards the station for the split splashdown effect. Nice. Right, I think what we're going to do is we're going to lower this a little bit so that it picks up a little bit speed into the drop. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Alright. Looking good. Let's add that in and level out just a bit so we don't crash into the drop. Alright, looking good. Alright, now let's add the drop. And see where that goes. Great, add a couple more of those. We're going to do it piece by piece because I'm not sure how far down I want it. And instead of a regular drop, we're going to add a splash zone, which is so freaking awesome. Because in the old Roller Coaster Tycoon games, you completely relied on custom scenery for this kind of stuff, and it is great to see this as an in-game element. And I have to say, it looks really cool when you do the run-through. So now I think we're just going to take this back to the station, since it's pretty close. Finish this out a bit, try and do the auto... okay, that didn't quite work. Let's try that again. So it goes up, but there's no lift hill, so that's unfortunate. So let's work backwards and do the lift hill back up to the station. Do this piece by piece so we can see how we need to do it. Let's do a couple more. Yeah, and let's level it off and finish it up now. Awesome, there we go. Alright guys, and here it is, your Planet Coaster log flume. It looks pretty cool so far. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this project will go. Let's give it a test. You can see there's some really cool test mannequins they put in the gameplay, and let's just follow this around to see where it's gonna go. I'll stop talking for a while so you guys can enjoy the ride. And I promise I'll do show a little bit of the coaster cam on this also. First drop, totally missed that. But it'll go pretty smoothly going into the lift hill, so that's good. Alright, just curious to see how this further drop's going to come along. Since there's a turn right off the drop, I might have to modify that. Let's see what happens. Because sure, you could always just leave it, but if you want to be realistic and safe to your guests, which is always the #1 goal on Planet Coaster, we may want to fix that, so we'll see what happens. Looking good so far. Here comes the drop, and splash. Okay, we're gonna need to fix that. That looks a little awkward splashing down into a curve. Let's see if we can try and modify track. That's another thing I really love about Planet Coaster is you can just modify track when you're done instead of having to delete pieces and figure out your plan again. Let's see if we can try and make that a little bit longer if possible. Okay, well that's raising it, so that doesn't help. We may have to delete this section just so we have a little bit of a straightaway to it. So let's see what we can do here. Alright, let's do a little bit of a straighter... okay, that's as close as we can get, but I think this will be a little bit better. Come on. Alright, well, that'll do. Okay. And can we finish it up from there? No, we can't connect. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's try... let's try and back it up. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh my gosh, you're going crazy, guys. Like I said, I'm new to this game, so the controls are going to take a little bit of time to figure out. Okay, well, we're back to where we started. Okay, let's try this again. It looks a little bit straighter, though. I don't know if I did anything. Nope, still kind of curved. Alright guys, we're gonna get this, I promise. Let's just back this up a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna delete this section out. Alright, we're gonna pan it a different way. So there's a little bit more of a straighter landing zone than there was before. Good, take it that way. It's not the original path, but we'll fix that ugly gaping hole with some terrain tools in a bit. Right, so we have it curved this way. Alright, so we're just going to do the same thing, but it's going to be a little bit shorter this time, which I think is good for the ride time. You don't want to be stuck on a log flume forever. Unless it's Splash Mountain. In that case, yes, you do, because that ride is a blast. Alright, that looks a whole lot better, and the ride looks more compact, too. Alright, so let's test it again. Watch this little flume, see where it goes. Good, we'll do a little bit of a speed element just to get it down. That looks much better. Okay, we're going to stick with that. Have it go around, little wrap around. Let's see what happens up top. Alright, we'll slow it down so you guys can see what's going on here a little bit better. Good, so we got the lift hill. It's going up, going up some more. And then we'll see how it handles this little drop. Well, quotation, drop. Just a little speed section. Let's see how that does. Alright, oh, we're picking up a lot of speed. Let's see how it does. Kind of crashes into it, but that's great. It makes for a more thrilling ride, and you can see that splash zone is fully animated and awesome. Alright, so that ride is pretty complete. I think what we need to do is fix some of that terrain. Yeah, that's pretty ugly looking. Alright, so let's leave that be and check out the terrain tools. Alright, so we're going to go with the smooth first and see. Okay, disclaimer, I don't have much terraforming experience, so this is all pretty new to me. The smooth looks like it's just smoothing everything out instead of making everything the same level. Yeah, let's try flatten the surface and see what that does. Okay, that's a little bit better, but it's a bit edgy, and now it's making the elevation lower on the other side of the ride, so that's not it. Flatten the foundation, even worse. Let's try this. Nope, still bad. There we go, flatten the surface to just get it a little bit fixed. That didn't quite work either. Okay, so terraforming is a little bit trickier in this game. That's the problem. Okay, so we're going to start further out and flatten the surface out here because that's the surface I want. Okay, there we go. Alright, so be very aware of your surroundings in this game because you are going to want to make sure you don't mess up the terraforming. Or the terrain forming, and terraforming is different. We're not creating new environments out of planets, we're just modifying the terrain. Good. Well, we don't want to make that lower, so that didn't quite work. Let's try this again. Good, okay. So it's not going to be a perfect Snap 2 ride, so if Planet Coaster you're listening, that would be a cool feature to have in the future. Just making sure your rides snap right to the track. But overall, loving this game. So, very happy with this purchase. That looks better. Let's check out and see what else we need to do. I think we're getting pretty close to working on the station. Just want to make sure everything flows smoothly. I think we're going to give you guys a first-hand look at what this ride is about. Or not the ride, the coaster cam, which you can see is pretty cool. The graphics for this are just really great, and for me having a low-end computer and still being able to play it on this quality setting, it's just a real treat. Hopefully when I get a higher-end game computer someday, I'll be able to do some really stunning gameplay work, but for now, this will do. So now we're heading into the drop so you can see exactly how it looks. That's awesome. That's so great. And what's great about this ride is that the, I guess, physics of the game are pretty realistic, so whenever they show you the drops or like curves, they really show the mannequins simulating what it's going to be like for when you actually have guests on the ride, which is cool. So now I guess we're going to place the entrance and exit, finish up this ride. Yeah, and that's basically a nutshell of building a log flume ride. I think we'll call it a day for now and build some scenery work in a bit. Alright, so thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time for the next gameplay video. RCT3 Imagineer, signing off.